Coming up now on the news at 6, hundreds of New Britain students are missing their required vaccines to start the school year, meaning they won't be able to go to class. Tonight we have the last-minute push to get students ready. Plus, it's a summer project to remember. We'll show you how students and artists teamed up to steal hearts and showcase Southington's history. And a question for you tonight. What's up in Waterford? The Crystal Mall closed its doors in March, and now a new company says they're moving in with big plans. We'll tell you all about it coming up. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on the news at 6. I'm Annette Montgomery. All those stories are coming up in just a bit, but first let's get a check on the weather with meteorologist Sam Sampiri. Sam, you're timing out those showers this weekend, but at least it's not a complete washout. It is not a complete washout, and in fact, guidance keeps getting better and better, so that certainly is good news. So tomorrow's going to be mostly cloudy. Actually, it could be partly sunny, mostly sunny in western Connecticut for a while. Clouds will thicken up, and then we'll have some scattered showers a couple of different times during Sunday. So if you had the pick of the day, Saturday would be your pick. But even on Sunday, we could see some sunshine. Meanwhile, right now, temperatures where it's sunny is in the 70s, 77. Windsor locks to Hartford, right down the 91 corridor. West, you see 70s to the east, upper 60s to near 70. That's due to the clouds and that cool northeast wind. What caused it? Well, that area low pressure in the front yesterday caused all kinds of severe weather, and that water spout down coming out of Long Island Sound there had kind of slowed down that storm system right here, just spinning around. Meanwhile, we're watching the upper level flow bring up some more moisture, but I think the next system down to the south is going to miss us tomorrow into tomorrow night. Meanwhile, overnight, look for partly cloudy skies. It might clear out in parts of the state, especially western areas, with lows averaging between 55 and 62, with the warmest readings down in Bridgeport and New Haven. For your Saturday, mostly cloudy, intervals of sun, highs in the mid-70s, and with that northeast wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour, we're going to keep temperatures in check. Coming up, I will time out when you can expect some showers and what you can expect going into next week in a few minutes. Okay, Annette? Thank you so much, Sam. Well, back to school shopping is in full swing, but for hundreds of New Britain families, there's one more thing on the checklist. That's getting their children up to date on required vaccines. With the first day of school just around the corner, the city is now stepping in to help families get it done. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is in New Britain, where a clinic is making it a little easier for families to get ready for the school year.
The school district says more than half of the students without immunizations are from the high school. To help reverse those numbers, the New Britain Health Department hosted an immunization clinic, which parents I spoke with say has been very helpful.
Everything is pretty quick and easy. I'm really surprised.
Rosemary Collins came to the immunization clinic with her granddaughter, who recently came to this country from Jamaica.
When you come from the Caribbean, you know that immunization is very important.
School officials told Fox 61 that around 300 students are without their immunizations just days before the school year is set to begin. Caleb Coles, the director of health for the New Britain Health Department, says this number is concerning.
Pretty shocking to know that there's a lot of kids that don't have access to vaccines.
The New Britain Health Department, in collaboration with the Community Health Center, hosted an immunization clinic to give students those much-needed vaccines.
School starts next week, and so we wanted to make sure that when the kiddos are ready to go back in, that they're going to be ready to go.
The state requires children to be vaccinated against illnesses like polio, measles, and chickenpox. Cole says it's important for every student to be vaccinated.
We've heard a lot about herd immunity and how important that is.
Khan says children being immunized before they return to school is safer for all students.
It helps your kids. Even if they get sick, they're not going to get that sick to be hospitalized.
If you did miss out on the immunization clinic, Cole says their department is open for walk-ins or appointments Monday through Friday from 8:15 to 3:45. In New Britain, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Now to an update from state health officials on the cyclospora outbreak. In Connecticut, there have been 108 total cases so far this year, with at least 57 of those acquired right here in the United States. That's compared to 32 total cases in all of last year. Right now, 4 people have been hospitalized due to the virus. And Western Connecticut has been hit the hardest, with 54 cases coming from that planning region. Today, the Connecticut Department of Social Services announced a Husky Health data breach that may have exposed information for roughly 41,000 members. Gainwell Technologies, the state's Medicaid fiscal agent, discovered unauthorized access to a provider payment account back in June. Names, Medicaid IDs, service details, payment accounts, and insurance information may have all been exposed. But they say Social Security numbers, financial information, and health records were not. DSS says the breach appears to be financially motivated, and the portal has now been secured. Well, now to an update in the triple murder trial of Lindsay Clancy. The defense rested yesterday, and now prosecutors are presenting rebuttal witnesses. Clancy doesn't deny killing her 3 young children back in 2023, but her attorneys argue she shouldn't face criminal punishment. And that's because they say she was suffering from postpartum psychosis. While presenting their case, they called 10 witnesses to testify about her mental health. The DA's office alleges she deliberately and meticulously killed her children when she was not in a state of psychosis. A 38-year-old woman is now facing several charges tonight after police say she hit and killed a 43-year-old Danbury man last night. Waterbury police say the victim had severe head trauma and was pronounced dead on scene. They say 38-year-old Morales Rivera McDonald hit the man and then also hit 2 other parked cars. She's now been charged with second-degree manslaughter with a motor vehicle, reckless driving, and DUI. Well, now to a traffic alert. Part of Windsor Avenue in Windsor is closed right now due to a water main break. You can see on your screen the road is closed to northbound traffic between Deerfield Avenue and Road Avenue. Detours are in place on Giddings Avenue and Ford Road. The town says you should avoid the area, follow detour signs, and allow extra time for travel. And right now, state police are investigating a head-on crash in Andover yesterday. It left 1 person with serious injuries. Troopers say that crash happened just before 3:15 p.m. on Route 6. They say the driver of a Toyota Highlander was traveling west, failed to stay in his lane, and hit a car going in the opposite direction. That driver did have serious injuries and was taken to Hartford Hospital. He was also issued a written warning. The former Crystal Mall in Waterford continues to see changes, and General Dynamics Electric Boat is now moving in with some big plans. Fox 61's Stephen Reels takes us to Waterford to show us what's next.
Ever since the more than 40-year-old mall closed back in March, all eyes were on with what General Dynamic was going to do to bring it to its future. Now, thanks to these renderings, we have an idea. Ahead of the groundbreaking ceremony Friday, a spokesperson for the company told us this will help them support the production of Virginia and Columbia-class submarines, and we could potentially see upwards of 5,000 people work here, which would make General Dynamic Electric Boat the largest employer in Waterford. But this development goes beyond just offices. It also expands training capabilities in Waterford at the Shipbuilding Advanced Institute for Learning, which will feature a weld school, 40 classroom VR labs, and help meet the standards the workforce needs to deliver to the Navy.
It's exciting. I think for 2 reasons. I'm getting old enough where I've seen economic change and I've seen urban renewal. So, be able to do this in Waterford, it's a great location for us. It was a great economic opportunity for us to be able to do this. So it's exciting. I mean, the weather's not great, but I think it's a good day for shipbuilding, a good day for Waterford, a good day for Connecticut. We're very, very upbeat about what's going on in Electric Boat and in the community. So it's a great day.
And for those worried about the history of the Crystal Mall, there is some good news. Management at least tells us that for the time being, things like the iconic crystal chandelier the mall was known for will stay in place for the time being. For now in Waterford, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
The old UConn campus in West Hartford, which has sat abandoned for years, is now disappearing 1 building at a time. The library is the latest building to be demolished, as neighbors like Kate O'Brien, who didn't want to be on camera, says she's ready to see something new come to the area.
I'm actually looking forward to having that space kind of built up and seeing families come in and having businesses across the street. I think it'll be nice for the community.
And hear this, the good news is city officials are planning to build something new in the area. It's a project they're calling Heritage Park. They say it will include townhouses, restaurants, and retail stores. Well, today, Attorney General William Tong called for another round of inspections at the former concierge apartment complex, which has since been rebranded as the Beacon. The complex in Rocky Hill had a whole host of problems over the winter, including burst pipes and mechanical failures that forced thousands from their homes for an extended period of time. One tenant we spoke with said he's skeptical the current management is keeping up with the necessary improvements.
We are thinking about this winter how can we manage if the same thing occurs. I personally don't believe what this leasing management are they really doing it. Definitely we need inspection. I personally feel.
And the Beacon's managing company, JRK Property Holdings, agreed to be responsible for finding an agreed-upon third-party company to conduct quarterly inspections and to develop a remediation plan to address any needed improvements to mechanical, plumbing, heating, and insulation systems. And finally, to monitor elevator mold and asbestos maintenance.